Hello ladies, welcome. My name is Tryphina. This month we are celebrating Women's Month. So we as the women from Phenomenal Women of God, we will be looking at the different women characters that are in the Bible. I want us to have a look at the woman named Abigail. We find her story in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25. Who was Abigail? Abigail was a woman who was married to a man named Nabal. Nabal was a wealthy, but he was a very harsh man. But Abigail was the opposite. Abigail was very beautiful and she was intelligent. So why is Abigail so interesting? Why is Abigail so remarkable? Why is Abigail's story worth looking into? What did she do? David, who was the future king of Israel, had been hiding from Saul. And at that time, they had met with Nabal's men, Nabal's flocks, men who were sharing the sheep. At that time, they had protected them and made sure that no harm would come to them. So, when they were tired and they needed food to be provided, they decided to go ask Nabal for help. So David sent forth his men to Nabal's house to ask for his help. But Nabal refused. As we have said, that Nabal was a very rude and harsh man. He didn't want to share his abundance with David. So David's men went back to David and told David of what Nabal had said. So David was very angry to the point that he wanted revenge. He felt insulted and he had to do something about it because he felt humiliated and embarrassed. Therefore, he decided to avenge that rejection, that refusal, by killing all the men in Nabal's house. In the meantime, one of the servants went to Abigail and spoke to her and told her what had happened. This shows us that the people in Nabal's household knew who the right one to talk to was, who the right one was to make decisions. They trusted Abigail's discernment. They trusted in Abigail's wisdom. Therefore, Abigail acted very quickly. She decided to supply the food that David had requested, and she sent forth the men ahead of herself, and she followed in order to plead for mercy. As she approached King David, she got off her donkey, she humbled herself, she bowed face down, and she pleaded with David that she should not do such a thing, because it would mean that David would have blood on his hands. And in that way, David accepted that apology, because in Abigail, she saw wisdom, she saw honor, because it shows that Abigail recognized who David was. Abigail knew who David was. Therefore, she knew the right course of action to take. And in that way, Nabal's household was saved from calamity. What are we learning? What do we learn from the story of Abigail? We see a woman who had courage. We see a woman who trusted in God. We see a woman who had confidence in the Lord to help her in avoiding calamity and being used of God so mightily. We see that when we as women go before the Lord and we trust in Him and we know that He will make a way, He will surely come through for us.